Hi, this is Jennie Walker and welcome to Closet Conversations. Tonight I want to talk to you about reselling and consignment during the California lockdown of 40 million people, which started tonight, March 19th, 2020 here in California. The governor issued the mandate, and so non-essential businesses are ordered closed. Now, I'm going to have to get some more information from that. The city of Pasadena has slightly different rules and regulations. But because this is mandatory, I'm pretty sure that the luxury consignment shop is going to have to shut down the online as well, which is really concerning because we were counting on being open for the online business to be able to keep going. But it's very unsure right now, and I need more information, but it's not looking good from what I read. Now, the fact that the inventory is in a storefront and we don't have access to it unless we go in there, that's the problem. So we've got to find out if we're able to enter our store or not, since we are operating online. I had read some exemptions for online businesses, but not during this mandatory shut-in. It was for something else that I had read. It was before this happened. So that is a huge deal for us. It is one of those things that I really don't want to think about the consequences, because it's too disturbing to think about the consequences of a store completely shutting down that functions and is profitable based on cash flow, and then there isn't any. And then like zero, as in no online and no in store. So that is something that gives me a great deal of pause. Now, my other business, my Jennie Girl's Closet reselling business, this is a home-based business. All of that information is around me, all of the inventory. So that is something that I can continue to operate. And because the USPS has a pickup service, I can have someone come to my home once a day to pick up my packages and keep that going. So that'll be really, really welcome to get that going. But the other business, ordered closed. That is just unbelievable. And when you think about reselling and consignment, it is non-essential. And that is a point driven home. It's driven home so hard with this virus going around, because what is that handbag going to do for you? Absolutely nothing in this situation. And even trying to sell it or sell off your luxury items, where people are even constricted with operating businesses and things like that, is going to be kind of interesting. But yeah, it is non-essential. Nobody needs it. Nobody needs a single thing in that store that we have. It is all, fun and frivolous, and it's, fashion, and it's awesome. But guess what? In a situation like this, it has no value. And that's the thing. What has value in a time of crisis? It's not that Louis Vuitton handbag. It's not that Dior belt, or that Chanel handbag. It really isn't. And that is the business that I'm in. I'm in the luxury consignment business. Now, my hope is that the reselling business that I have, my Jennie Girl's Closet, which will still be able to operate, is something that I can continue to run it very aggressively. I talked in another podcast about my plans for that. And, it's interesting. I have a very different tone tonight because I do have a sense of anxiety over all of this. This is unprecedented. And, again, I can only liken it to when it was 9/11 happening in New York and I lived there. I mean, that's what it feels like. And so I have to keep a level head and stay focused on other things other than watching the news all day long. Now, let me tell you what happened today. So I kind of figured this was going to happen, the lockdown in California, because, of the news. And if you follow the trends, you can see that this was on the way, right? So fortunately, I had done some shopping to kind of prepare. I did, I bought things in anticipation, like, shampoo and toothpaste and things like that, to try to keep me keep me going, because even though you can go to a grocery store, you don't want to go. I mean, that's the whole point, is you don't actually want to go outside even though you can. So when this all happened today, I had heard this rumor that my business partner told me about, that they had a bunch of National Guard or military, some sort of trucks down at the Rose Bowl that look like Humvees, things like that, or Hummers, and that that there was going to be some sort of lockdown coming, probably on Sunday. So I'm like, okay, I called my business partner. I said, I have to go to the grocery store right now because this thing is coming Sunday, and I just, something tells me I can't wait until tomorrow. So I rushed to Trader Joe's. They were closing like in 30 minutes. I grabbed whatever food I can because the shelves were bare. And when I left, it was as I was leaving and heading to Ralph's grocery store that the CNN alert came through that the governor had issued that stay-at-home mandate effective immediately. So I was in the Ralph's. I called my business partner. He had already come to the Ralph's with me. I met him up there. We went through. We got whatever we could. It was a madhouse. People were streaming in very quickly because they had all gotten the same CNN blast that I did. And again, if you don't have CNN alerts on your phone, you really should get them, certainly in a time like this. So it was packed. We got what we could, and we then rushed over to our store. And I knew in this moment, this was the last moment I was going to have to get anything out of that store for a while, because at this point I was pretty sure our business was closed for good, for right now. So I told him, I said, look, I got to take home things to work. And so I managed to get about 4 giant containers of small items for processing on eBay, which is like scarves and belts and jewelry and all of this small stuff. I pulled the one eBay sale that we had today where they hadn't paid, so it hadn't been mailed. I pulled that out. I grabbed emergency box of checks. I grabbed all kinds of postal boxes, because even though I had just created that order I had mentioned in my other podcast, it hadn't arrived, and when it will arrive, we won't be there to get it. So we rushed in, we took all the trash out, I got all this stuff to work on, and then I came home, and it just took me like 10 trips to unload my car, and I had boxes and all kinds of things. So it was a little hectic, but I don't want my business to collapse, and this is a very scary time. This is how I make my income. So what I do have, and will also be a great distraction, because if you're going to be at home all day, you might as well be doing something. So I have my light box, I have a mannequin, and I've got hundreds of items that I can put online. Even though I might not be able to sell them and have to turn my store off, it's fine. I can still do the work, put them up there. So I'm doing what I can to function. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is a lot of podcasts. And so I've got some speakers lined up, but I also am going to share my experience. I'm going to tell you what's going on with me every day and just keep this going, because this will be an important way for me to be able to contribute and deal with some of my anxiety, to talk about what I know and what I love. And podcasts are able to continue to operate. They're on the list. So that's very good. And we'll take it from there. So this is something that is just incredible. The situation is forcing us to pivot. It's forcing us to come up with other ways to do what we do. Amazon and their new delivery is out there. We have the USPS pickup. I can have boxes mailed to me. I can have supplies sent to me. I have unlimited amount of inventory to be worked on, processed. If I run out of things to do, I can add measurements to all my listings. I mean, there's so much to do. And that's what I'm going to be working on. Keeping focused on my business where I can, control what I can, stay sheltered, stay away, stay in, and just see how it goes. So for everyone who's dealing with this around the world, my thoughts are with you. I think it's an opportunity to use your time in a new way. Go through your things, go through your closet. If you're in the United States, have USPS send you supplies. Use online systems. The shipping, in terms of paying for shipping, if it's on eBay or Poshmark or some of these sites, they have an easy way that's handled within the system. So free supplies, you can buy your postage online and the postman can pick up from you. So if you are looking to sell things that you own, I think it's a great opportunity and a great time to do this, because this may be one of the things that saves people. This whole circular economy is that more people are getting involved in it. And I think it's a great opportunity to try something new and get creative I just read 2.2 million people filed for unemployment last week, according to an article that came out in the paper. I think the source was Goldman Sachs. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So this is Jennie Walker with Closet Conversations, coming to you from California with our stay-at-home mandate, otherwise known as a lockdown. And I hope that you will continue listening, and I will bring you updates each day on what's happening and where we're going from here. If you like the song Black Hat, it's written and performed by Jennie Walker and Tommy Farragher. It's from the album Night Flight to London, available on iTunes worldwide now. If you haven't thought of buying it, please do. It might be my only income for the next 6 months. Thank you. This is Jennie Walker.